Sans versus Jevil. Who would win? Well, it's actually a closer battle than you think. You might think that Sans wins no problem, but to actually know how this fight will go, let's go through who these two are and what they can do. So, starting off with Sans. Sans is a really smart skeleton with connections to Alphys, the royal scientist, and we can confirm his intelligence with his basement where we can see all kinds of scientific stuff belonging to him, as well as a weird machine. I personally believe the theory that Sans traveled from the Deltarune world to the Undertale world, but lost the means to travel back, which explains the weird machine. Sans only shows what he's capable of when it's absolutely certain that the human will reach level 20, which is enough to erase the world. Jevil, on the other hand, was the court jester, finding a strange person that shifted him to become insane, eventually leading Sham, the court magician, to lock him up. Whether or not Sham being able to lock up Jevil proves that Jevil was weak, he is still a strong opponent against Chris, Susie, and Ralsei. Now, onto their abilities. Sans is able to teleport. He also has the ability to utilize karma damage, which does around 5 damage to your HP from magic bone attacks and 10 from gaster blasters, while also doing 1 damage to the karma poison effect. Karma also ignores invulnerability frames, which means attacks can hit more than 1 time. Sans can also manipulate the gravity of a soul however he wants and dodge attacks without needing to teleport. Now, his main weakness is that he is very fragile, having only 1 HP, or 11 if you count sleeping, and also his stamina. The only reason that Sans was able to die in Undertale was because Sans couldn't keep battling without tiring himself out, which can be a detriment against fighting Jevil. Speaking of Jevil, Jevil can move incredibly fast and can fight forever unless he gets either hypnotized or killed. And he also has an HP stat of 3,500, which is just over 2 times as much as Undying. Jevil is also able to make himself disappear in the form of the Devil's Knife. Jevil's weakness is that he is way worse at dodging attacks than Sans, and while Jevil not being able to dodge Chris, Susie, or Ralsei's attacks is for gameplay purposes, he would still be able to dodge attacks to some extent, although way worse than Sans can. So, let's go through what both sides are able to do against each other, or in other words, how would this battle go? Jevil has very unique attacks, being more bullet hell focused than any other enemy in the game, and if Sans wants to survive, he would have to avoid every single bullet like the plague since he would die in 1 hit. Sans in Undertale only had to deal with close range attacks, whether it be a knife or multiple punches, so ranged magic attacks, especially with tons of bullets, would be even harder for him to dodge, tiring himself out faster. In Undertale specifically, it takes 24 attacks from the human, with Sans fighting back to tire himself out, and his only way of regaining stamina would be through sleeping, which Jevil definitely wouldn't let slide. With Jevil's attacks, Sans might be able to dodge 18 turns worth of attacks while fighting back, meaning Sans would have to deal a minimum of 200 HP of damage every turn to have a chance of winning, which is really hard to do. On the other side, Jevil is really fast, so he would be able to dodge at least half of Sans' attacks at most. The best I think Sans would be able to pull off is 80 HP a turn, so this leads me to the conclusion that Jevil would win the fight. Yes, I know. As much as I really want Sans to win this fight, I feel like the amount of HP Jevil has makes it impossible for Sans to win. Also, don't go saying that Sans would stall out his churn until he's energized. Jevil literally has projectiles, and I don't think this battle would go by traditional churns, especially since they work by different battle mechanics. Anyways, leave your takes in the comments. I truly read each one, and enjoy the drawing / thumbnail. Also, did you guys enjoy the April Fool's video?